Greetings to you all. It's been a while, long time no see. Welcome to the channel.
Welcome.
Welcome to the channel, our new subscribers. And today, it's been a while. It's been about a month or something like
About a
that.
month, yeah.
And we just gonna talk about our experience with dealing with these, this paperwork, filing motions and what have you, and just our experience. I mean, we've been going through this for over 2 years, and it's just been it's pretty. A lot of things have been very mind blowing. Okay, very mind blowing. So I'm gonna Mr. McCormick here. He's gonna be mainly talking about it since he's the leading attorney here on the case. So he's going to be talking about it since he does all the paperwork. Pretty much, he deals with that more than he pretty much does all of it. And yeah, so yeah, man. Like I just said, we've been going through this for over 2 years, man, and it's been a lot of things going on. I mean, this paperwork. I mean, obviously, I know you're doing everything, but I'm there. You read the stuff to me as well, and it kind of it's very mind blowing. It's flabbergasted. I'm flabbergasted by all this different stuff, and just the fact that they are just filling up the paper, not really doing real research, and not really knowing the law. Like, how do you?
Yeah, it's really embarrassing because they don't know the actual supreme law. Okay, a lot of you guys know in past videos I talk a lot about something called the Supremacy Clause. The Supremacy Clause is Article 6, Clause 2 of the United States Constitution. Now, what that is that is a governor that basically governs what happens in the proceeding to ensure that the 14th Amendment of the United States Constitution is followed. Now, the 14th Amendment of the United States Constitution, it ensures due process. Now, up under due process, you have substantive due process and you have procedural due process. Those are two little key pieces of due process that you have that is guaranteed to you. Now, procedural due process is very important because it ensures an adequate proceeding. You feel what I'm saying? It ensures an adequate proceeding. Now, a lot of these legal officials, they know this stuff, because I don't want to say that they don't know it. I do want to say that they don't care to know it. And a lot of times they don't care to know it simply because they feel like, okay, if I don't follow that, what are you going to do? If I don't follow that, what you going to do? What are you going to do to me? Okay? So when it comes down to that, and if there's nothing that you're going to do, then why would they follow it? Why would they want to follow it? Okay? So that's the landscape that we have been walked into, because you have so many people that do not know their rights. So these people, they get in a position where they feel like, well, how dare you talk about rights? Well, I don't care about that. Who do you think you are? So that's the kind of attitude that they have. Now, to answer your question, Mr. McCormick, I would like to say that it has been a very educational experience for me. Informative most of all, because a lot of these people, they're just pushing paperwork. They're just pushing paperwork.
Paper gangster.
And a lot of what I have found out is, like I said in some of the previous videos, if you say the dog went down the road and it was Sunday, they're gonna say, well, he failed to say the dog went down the road on a Sunday. So that's what they're going to do. They're going to fill the paper up and they're going to say, you didn't say what you actually did say. And then anything that is credible in that paperwork that you bring to the court's attention for the court to take notice of, they're going to go around that. They're not going to bring that up in their reply. They're not going to say anything about that because they're hoping to fast talk the judge or the law clerks that are observing the paperwork. And a lot of times, additionally, what they want to do also is they try to create an atmosphere of bias and prejudice. So they would say things like, oh, well, they're representing their self pro se, and they filed this action against all of these different important individuals to kind of create an atmosphere to suggest that maybe you're just out of your mind, maybe you're just crazy, or you're just mad because you're just doing this and doing that. But again, it doesn't matter what kind of atmosphere they try to create. It doesn't matter what kind of idea of the situation that they try to turn it into. What matters is the facts, and what matters is what can be proven. That's the only thing that matters. So regardless of whose opinion is what in any manner that you may pursue legal action in, you always want to make sure that you have something to back up everything you say. So if they call it speculation, you can say, well, what about this? Boom. You can pull something out and you can back up that allegation. When you can pull something out and you can back up that allegation, or when you can produce a witness that can say, yes, this happened to me. When you can produce a witness that can say, yes, the same thing happened to me, or yes, I seen this, or yes, I overheard this, or yes, this person told me this, and I have it on recording. So a lot of that is going to matter at the end of the day. You know, it's just like a whole bunch of numbers that you add up. It doesn't matter until you hit the equal sign, until they total up. You see what I mean? So that's what I mean by at the end of the day. So at the end of the day, the only thing that matters is the facts. It doesn't matter that you're pro se. It doesn't matter that, oh, you're not represented by an attorney. It does not matter. Do you know how to read? Do you know what you're doing? And you know, it doesn't have to be perfect. You're going to make some mistakes because, again, if you're doing it, you're not in that line of work of doing that kind of business every day, so you will get used to it. But it's a great experience. It's very, very, very important that you take your time and you approach everything step by step. And again, like I said, it doesn't have to be perfect. You're going to make mistakes. Nothing is going to be perfect. You're not expected to be perfect, okay? The attorneys are making mistakes as well, okay? Okay? Because a lot of times when you have an environment when attorneys are dealing with other attorneys, they're going to, you know, that's their fellow constituent. So a lot of times what they're going to do is, you know, they're going to communicate with each other in such a way that ensures that, you know, everyone is on the same page. And, you know, you should too as a pro se litigant. But you should never be intimidated just because an attorney is an attorney. I mean, we've witnessed these attorneys make countless mistakes. We have attorneys in the new action that we filed, we have attorneys whom actually backdating certificate of services. They're backdating their certificate of services. I'm not going to mention any names right now, but that person know who they are. What they did was they backdated their certificate of service because it was due. Their pleading was due on a certain day, and they didn't make that day. So instead of asking the court for an extension, what they did was just altered it and lied and said that it was filed on a day that it wasn't. And the system clearly can system stamp it and prove that it wasn't filed on an adequate day. And all that does is prove what we've been saying all along, and it proves what we have in the averments in our complaint. It proves most of all that these people are engaging in fraudulent activities, and that fraud has become a norm for them. Forgery is a norm for them. Violating people's constitutional rights is, we can do that. Because again, it's so many situations where people have tried to take action against them, and again, what happens? They don't do an adequate job. They give up, they get tired, and they stop. It's never going to happen with us. It's never going to happen. We're never going to stop. We're never going to stop this until everybody is punished for the violation of federal laws. Okay, and it's just that simple. So again, don't be afraid to take action, but you want to sit down, you want to read, you want to look at other court orders, you want to look at the exceptions to every law, because there are exceptions to laws. You're going to have some laws that say this can't be done, but then you want to look and see if there's any exceptions. And when you're looking for the exceptions, you want to see if any of the criteria that is held in those exceptions match your situation. Okay, because there's a lot of times there's exceptions to things, so you don't want to get too caught up in, oh, I can't make a mistake, I can't make a mistake. You're welcome to make mistakes, and that's why the court has something in place called a leave to amend. That's why you can amend the complaint, okay, because you can correct those errors. Many of those errors can be corrected through a proper amendment. And you can amend it more than once if necessary, because the case is primarily adjudicated on the merits of the case and not deficiencies. Okay? Not deficiencies. The case is primarily and should be primarily adjudicated based off the merits of the case.
Can you imagine not knowing? So yeah, I wanted to ask you this before I forget. Can you imagine not knowing the stuff that the stuff that you've learned about this whole legal system and what you have to know and what not to know? Could you imagine not even knowing?
Well, from what I've learned so far, and the things that they do, and how deep they can pry into a person's life and mingle into your life, and you wouldn't even know that they were there doing it. Okay, now that I have learned that, it has shown me and taught me that you have to be very careful with everything you do. You have to be very careful, because you can get in a situation where just because you have something, you are targeted. You are targeted for somebody to come after you and get that without you knowing it. Okay, there's a lot of elaborate schemes that's going on. A lot of people have been victims of elaborate schemes. So
being what they say, I heard an expression they call it being robbed blind and taken to the cleaners.
Oh yes, oh yes. They tried well. They tried to do it. I give them kudos for trying, but it was a bad try. It was a really bad try, and they were really, really sloppy for what they did and what they were involved in. So, again, if you have a matter that you would like to take into a court because you see some violation of your rights, or you see some violation of your rights or federal law as it relates to you, you want to get as much as research as you can. Mm-hmm. Look up cases that has been dismissed, look up cases that have been adjudicated, and get as much as information as you can. So that way, when those attorneys come with their defense, you already have an idea what that defense is, and you're already ready for it. They put that defense in, you already got your paperwork ready to go, boom. All you have to do is put your response in, and it's just that simple. It's just that simple. Like I told Mr. Moses McCormick, I like to think of it as middle school or high school, about like how they have the
7th period, 6th period.
7th period, 8th period, 9th period. The beauty in that is the way that we think of it is we think of it as like classes. Okay, if you have 7 different classes and you have homework for each class, then it's the same thing. So we look at it like that. So it's really not that hard. We like we said, we have 30 defendants in our current case, and we're responding to all of them.
I would say, and also, if you guys, like, if you've never been through this, if you've never been in a legal situation before and you find yourself having to, represent yourself, we must say that, like, you expect to be an abuse process. I guess it depends on where you are, but most of the time, these courts, there's a lot of bias and prejudice going on, and I don't want to say everywhere is like that, but you definitely want to just kind of like expect that, because you don't want to be disappointed. You get in there and doing all this paperwork and you turn it in, and then it's like, oh, they're not making decisions. I mean, they sit on they did stuff like that to us back in Ohio, sat on things for like 6 months in federal court, literally sat on our complaint for a whole year. We didn't even get in the court. It's crazy, and it's a huge difference here. We're in Arizona now. The judge, like, as soon as the complaint went in, the case is moving. There's no games. This is like a real. We finally got into a situation where it's actually real. Well, thus far, is a lot better than it was in Ohio. So just keep that in mind. Just it's going to be difficult, especially if it's a serious case and it's dealing with corruption and stuff like that. They're going to try to use father time against you, and that can be very difficult. I think that's the most difficult part. Especially if you got kids involved. I mean, you got to be very strong, very patient, and make sure you have someone. You want to keep someone around. You be around people who are very supportive, and that's very important. If you have someone who is very supportive in that situation, then you'll be fine. But that's just something to think about, before going through this stuff. So, anything else?
Yeah. So expect to be abused. Just expect it. But balance is the ultimate key. So, again. There's more than one way to win, like we always tell you. It's always more than one way to win. And a loss is not a loss until you say it's a loss. All right? So we're going to say all constitutional rights invoked and waived for this video. And do you have anything more you would like to say?
No, just thank you guys for viewing. I know it's been, we haven't put out that many videos like this month, but we got like serious things going on. Like we just so we'll try to put out what we can, but just be patient with us. And we acknowledge that it's been about 3 or 4 weeks since we released the last video on our channel. So we'll throw some content for you guys, and also do some other things, and lead a case for a little bit, just some informative information. But stay tuned. And we've seen a couple comments, people asking how we doing. I mean, we're doing good. We're doing our thing, just staying busy, doing our research. I do my language thing. I have my classes stuff, so I'm mainly doing my language stuff, and Mark here is doing all the legal stuff. So he's taking the passion. This guy, I mean, it's just like it's just amazing to see how he has grown with this stuff. Like, I mean, like he's like becoming, like, we went down to the court, and the clerk down there called him a pro. Said, man, you a pro at, he said, you're a pro at this. Called him a pro. Like, I mean, this guy, this is the what is he, the clerk? He the main clerk of the federal court,
I believe so.
Yeah. And he told Mark, he said, you a pro at this, man. You a pro. He gave him his props, and I'm proud of him, man. Because he, you guys know me. If you follow me on the channel, I'm all about hard work, and hard work pays off. You stay diligent, you do what you need to do, stay focused, and he's been very focused. And as I've said before, I don't know what I would have done if I hadn't one like him. He's been around for this whole time, and everything has been going great thus far. These people have been trying hard to do certain things, and we were able to overcome them and stay positive. Continue to do what we need to do, and just stay positive. And I mean, this, as we told you guys, like, expect the worst, not to be pessimistic, but you just don't want to be let down, and you don't want your feelings hurt and be disappointed, because I mean, we're living it. We're just giving you advice. Just expect that, because that's what these people do. I mean, they will abuse the process, but there are
there's ramifications for that abuse,
yeah.
And there's things that can be done. So for every action, there's a reaction. So
I like that. For every action, there's a reaction.
There's a reaction. So You know, you can't have somebody on the right side of the teeter-totter without having somebody on the left side of the teeter-totter.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's not going to work. So for every action, there's a reaction. So, and you always want to have an investigative team. You always want to have an undercover investigative team that is providing you with information on the daily. They should be able to give you updates daily, weekly, on everything. Okay?
All right, guys, we 20 minutes in this video. We just want to make it juicy for you guys because it's been a while. But if you have any questions, let us know in the comment section. Otherwise, thanks for viewing, and you guys have a great day, and we'll see you in the next video. Peace out.